The Galactic Council chamber fell into an uneasy silence as a holographic image of Earth rotated above the assembly. Storms flashing, oceans churning, predators frozen mid-attack, while Commander Veravec stood alone among hundreds of alien species that had conquered worlds through strength, claws, venom, and armor. And Professor Thax spoke carefully, explaining that Earth had been classified as one of the most hostile planets ever discovered, filled with creatures capable of killing nearly every known form of life. Yet humanity claimed dominion over this so-called death world, asking the human commander to explain how a species with no natural weapons could possibly stand at the top of such a food chain, prompting laughter from a towering reptilian ambassador who mocked humans as fragile flesh wrapped in thin skin. To which Vex calmly replied that this exact fragility was why they were misunderstood. Then, shifting the hologram to a massive terrestrial predator weighing over 1,000 pounds, with claws that tore steel and jaws that crushed bone, calmly stating that humans hunted such creatures for food, control, and sometimes sport, causing disbelief to ripple through the chamber as simulations insisted such beasts could annihilate trained soldiers, which Vex dismissed by saying they could destroy their soldiers, not humans, before transitioning to ancient crocodilians, unchanged for 200 million years, and explaining that humans didn't avoid these predators, but captured, studied, tagged, and released them by choice, not necessity. Then revealing sharks capable of sensing heartbeats and breaching oceans to kill. Finally answering the whispered question of how humans survive such a world by stating they didn't merely survive, but adapted, clarifying that humans were never the strongest, fastest, or best armored, but instead replaced claws with tools, speed with machines, and armor with strategy, refusing to wait for evolution and instead inventing solutions, mastering persistence, hunting by tracking stronger prey, 4 days until exhaustion, one where strength could not, explaining that humans reached the top of the food chain and then chose restraint, creating laws and preserves to protect species that could kill them because fear belonged to prey, not predators, provoking a warlord's accusation that mercy was weakness, which Vex countered with quiet laughter and a warning that every predator on Earth learns to recognize and avoid humans, because when humans abandon restraint, nothing survives the decision, concluding that every weakness humans were born with was transformed into dominance through innovation, fire, machines, and choice, raising her empty hand and declaring that humanity was apex not because of biology, but because it refused limitations, leaving the chamber silent until Professor Thax finally admitted the Council's answer was clear, welcoming humanity among them. As Vex smiled and calmly said, "Welcome to the top of the food chain. The view is incredible.